Hi everyone, today we will discuss a Chinese philosopher named Xunzi and his main philosophies. Starting with his biography, Xunzi is also called Xunkang, which is his full name, and he lived around 4 to 3 century BCE, and he was a follower of the great Confucius, and there are three most important figures in Confucianism. They are Confucius, Xunzi, and Mengzi. So Xunzi is also one of the most significant philosophers in Confucianism. Starting with a fun fact, why many Chinese philosophers have their names ending with zu or 子. So in ancient Chinese, 子 or 子 is written as 子. It means master, referring to those who have wisdom and deserve respect. So this is the first main philosophy of Xunzi, and he believes that human nature is evil. And there's a quote said by him. He said that man's nature is evil, and goodness is the result of conscious activity. So, what he meant by that is humans, we are born with a fondness for profit, hatred and dislike of others, and desires for sensory pleasure. And he also believed that it is a bad idea to follow our nature because we will engage in endless conflicts with others if we do. So, what are the solutions to solve the evil nature of humans? The first solution proposed by Xunzi is education, especially the role of teachers. He believed that teachers guide people to overcome natural flaws, and because teachers they teach ethical knowledge such as what is right and wrong, and they teach characters such as discipline and hardworking, and teachers model proper behaviors, and they correct mistakes and accelerate learning. Another solution proposed by Xunzi is what we call Li in Chinese. So, what is Li? Li refers to socially established rituals and customs that cultivate ethical values and teach proper behavior, shaping individuals into moral members of the society. So in English, we usually call Li as rituals or propriety. And so here's an example of Li, the village drinking ceremony. So in the village, everyone gathers for a toast, but only one cup is used. So, what is the solution? What shall everyone do then? So, everyone drinks in order of seniority, and this is a ritual or custom in the village. This teaches the younger ones to be humble and respectful towards the elderly, and also it teaches independence. As one village, they need to depend on each other. And also, Xunzi emphasizes the rituals of mourning and burials of the deceased parent because he believed that our parents are the ones who gave us life and raised us to adults. So we must have the deepest gratitude and feelings of loss towards our parents. And here is a metaphor used by Xunzi himself. He said, wood strengthened by a plumb line becomes straight, and metal sharpened on wet stone becomes sharp. So Xunzi compares human nature to raw and unshaped clay, which is rough, imperfect, and without form. And on its own, this clay is useless, just as humans are born with selfish and disorderly instincts. But just as a potter uses tools to mold clay into something beautiful and functional, teachers and rituals shape people into moral, civilized beings. The potter's hands represent education, knowledge of what is right and wrong, and rituals or li. Without these things, the clay would remain a messy lump. In the same way, without proper teaching and rituals, human nature stays wild and harmful. Okay, now let's compare Xunzi's philosophies and our biblical worldview. The first one is inheriting tendency toward evil. So both Xunzi and biblical truths tell us that we humans, we are inherently evil and we have the innate tendencies toward evil. But why is that? For Xunzi, he thought that this is because the innate desires and a lack of inherent moral structure that humans are born not with. But for Bible it tells that evil originates in humanity's separation from God. It is due to sin, not human itself. And also they both uh, proposed solutions, or we call need for transformation. And for Xunzi, he believed that the solution to solve the evil tendencies in our human beings is through three things: education, knowledge of what is right and wrong, and rituals. But for Bible, it tells us that humans we cannot attain righteousness alone because redemption comes through faith in Christ and grace. So that is how similar and different between Xunzi's philosophy and our biblical worldview. And here are some quotes that I want to share with you. They are said by Xunzi. Ritual is nourishment, said by Xunzi. Without accumulating steps, you cannot reach 1,000 miles, and without gathering small streams, you cannot form a river or sea. In learning, nothing is more expedient than to associate with a teacher. The common flaw of human is to be obscured by a single angle and ignorant of the greater principle. Side by Xunzi. When you see goodness, reflect intently to make it your own. When you see badness, examine yourself anxiously to avoid it. And that's all about Xunzi. If you have any questions, please ask me. Thank you for listening.